Hi guys, thanks for watching. This is Jamie Puterbaugh with AVR Golf Academy in Carlsbad, California. This video segment is going to be going over some of the common components that we see from world-class players and shedding some light on the topic of this notion in the golf instruction world that we're seeing that is claiming that everything in relation to your successes of a golfer is all about impact. And that you can pretty much do whatever you want, but as long as you reach impact, you're going to be just fine. This is pretty commonplace in the instruction world, and it just brings concern to me because I think a large part of the general golfing public is attracted to the idea that all you have to do is one-step fix, and all of a sudden you're going to be playing the best golf of your life. I'd like to show you here that if you have good elements and fundamentals in your swing to begin with, back and through, that a good impact position is going to be a formality. So as sad as it is for me to say, I wish that you could hold a club any way you wanted with any type of grip, have any type of wrist position back and through, have any plane that you swing on back and through, and use your body in any way that you'd like, and just have a good impact position and you're fine. It's not quite that simple. It's more of a fundamental game, and you have to understand what works. So let's get rolling here, and let's start with Rory on the left. And he obviously has great things going for him before he even takes the club back, with great fundamentals, great grip, makes a fantastic turn with his hips and shoulders going back. And if he's starting his downswing, we're going to start to shed light on some things that he's doing great here. So the club shaft is underneath his right shoulder. The leading edge is very much up and down at this point as he's arriving to the bottom of his swing. And on the next frame, you're going to see once again this leading edge is appearing very straight up and down. And then you'll also notice that the shaft angle is on his right arm. So if you have this great of a thing going on where you're using your body properly, you're shifting your weight, and you have a great grip and you understand how to do these things, a good impact position is going to just happen. All Rory really needs to do is just turn his body and go into balance, and he can trust that the ball's going to go where he wants quite often, and it does. So we'll go back to here for the time being, and let's go ahead and take a look at Jordan on the right. And while Jordan has a different grip, and he might swing a little more upright than Rory, he still makes a fantastic turn going back with his hips and shoulders. He's in balance, and as he's approaching the ball, we're going to start to see some things that look more and more like Rory on the left. And we're going to see, number one, like we spoke about a minute ago here, the shaft is underneath the right shoulder. The leading edge is very much up and down. This is a square club face to the arc. And in the next frame, you're going to see once again that these guys have got things in common. And it's important to use your eyes properly and really figure out what these things are. So the shaft is on the right arm once again. The leading edge is very much straight up and down. All Jordan needs to do is trust his swing, turn to balance, and he will be able to place the ball where he wants on a very regular basis. So once again, these guys are doing things well back and through, and the impact position that looks so good and is so proper is correlated to what he's been doing before the shot was hit. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of students I've had the chance to work with and show you how their impact positions did improve, but not necessarily trying to work exclusively on the impact. We worked on the components of a golf swing that make things work. So this girl struggled with shots that were going off to the right, and she battled a very open club face. You can see how this yellow line and the toe of the golf club is not pointing straight up and down, it's pointing more behind her. And as she's approaching into the ball, the face is quite open to the arc, and if she doesn't flick her hands and throw the club pretty hard at the bottom, the shots will continue to go to the right. So we would like to see that changing the impact position would just be the one all fix for her, but there's a little bit more to it. So let's look at the changes on the right. We changed her posture and got her in better balance going up to the top of her swing. We changed her grip, and now on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that the leading edge is much more straight up and down. And as she's arriving to the ball, it's more on her right arm with the shaft angle. Once again, the leading edge is straight up and down here, as you can see. So as she's approaching it now, the club face, you can see, is much more square as it's a foot away from striking this thing. So all she has to do is turn her body through the shot, and move into balance, and trust it. And she's starting to hit the ball much more straight now. I'll show you another student. There we go. So this player has a lot of talent, a strong baseball background, but just had some bad habits. We'll just get started with the turn. His head tended to be ahead of the ball at the top of his backswing. There was a little bit of a reverse pivot. And as he came down to the ball, the club was coming in at a very steep angle. So it's more seeing this club that is outside of his left arm, not even on his right arm. And as he comes into the ball, because it's so steep and his head's ahead of the ball and the club's going so much from the outside in, that unless he wants to take a big divot, he's got to scoop and kind of save himself. So the impact position sure needed work, but we needed to fix the golf swing. So I'll show you some changes that we made here. Number one, he made a better turn, much more level shoulder turn. His head's behind the ball. He's got a great coil now. And as he's starting to go into the ball, we start to see that the shaft angle is now starting to look more and more like what we were seeing a couple minutes ago with Rory and Jordan. So the shaft angle is underneath his right shoulder. The club face angle is starting to look much more straight up and down. The shaft is on his right arm exactly here. And now when he's arriving to the ball and he has a better understanding of what the golf swing is back and through, we're arriving to a better impact position. We're actually starting to see some compression here on the left-hand side of the screen where the shaft is actually leaning a little bit forward. So when we're looking at the differences here, this impact position was changed by learning his own individual faults and fixes. And as soon as he got around to that and came to terms with it, he was such a good athlete. It only took one lesson to kind of get this idea, and he's starting to have a much different shot pattern. So I hope that this video is at least starting a much needed conversation that is shedding light on the fact that it's really not all about impact. It's about learning your own golf swing and getting the right sort of fixes to what's going to help your own individual needs and hopefully meet your goals someday. Once again, thank you for watching. If you ever have a question, shoot me an email or go to our company's website at www.aviargolfacademy.com. Thanks and good luck with your game.